I feel like I need to do these, more not about a subject, but maybe just about the way the world is on any given day, and what I'm observing. I'm noticing today's February 13th. Of course, my life is still a total mess. I'm floating. I don't know what's going on. And, for my circumstances, being, relatively poor person in America with not a lot of money coming in, it makes sense. But as I look out and, we're all on social media, we all watch the news, or most of us watch the news. And you just observe people on a day-to-day basis. People are sad. I do not think this is seasonal depression. There is a sadness in the world, and I see famous celebrities who look like they should have it all, and they have sad eyes. And I see people who are on social media, they have YouTube channels, they're going through hard times. Not just, they're having financial times. Everybody's kind of lost. Everybody doesn't know what's happening. Everybody has a feeling of, I don't know where I am. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. And it makes people sad. And we all seem to be evaluating our life. I've always done that, but of course I've had to do it more now. And other people I see are also going through a time where they're like going over their whole life, as if it's flashing before their eyes. And they're not happy about it. And it's interesting to me, of course, I'm a person who, likes astrology topics and stuff like that. I don't get into it, though, because I don't understand the science behind it. But, it seems like there are times and there are phases we go through, and there are things that happen, and there are ages, and there are, moments. And this moment seems to have a heaviness to it. We've had the last couple years, you had a lot of sad stories, and I don't know if that's just affecting everyone, the rich and the poor, the wonderful people and the regular people, but it just seems like we're all just, I don't know, floating or on a raft in a swamp, just trying to get by or hang on. And some people feel like, why are we even hanging on? I know I ask that question 10 times a day. It's what life is about. What are we going through this for? What is the point? I know that, like I said before, when I watch TV, if I watch the news, especially the morning news programs or the daytime news programs, I just look at them. I'm like, none of this has anything to do with my life. I've been saying that for years. When I watch candidates running for elections and they're talking about all these issues, none of this has anything to do with my life. And I feel like a lot of people agree. There was an election, 3.5 years ago almost now, and that election should have proven to the people who make all the noise in the media and all the people who think they know what they're talking about that they're wrong, that they're a handful of idiots, and what's actually going on in the world is totally different, because they didn't expect what happened. And every day, every minute of the news practically is about this next election, and they're still saying the same things and making the same mistakes. And I feel like people feel so disconnected, because if we turn on the news or we look at the news headlines or the trending topics on Twitter or whatever, it's about nonsense. It's not about what we're going through on our day-to-day life and in our day-to-day lives. And people are struggling. It's making them sad. And I think that, these programs or the commercials that come in between, that's all putting up this fantasy world that nobody is living. Nobody. And it still makes people feel inadequate. It still makes people feel like, what am I doing wrong? What am I getting wrong? But it's not us. It's that there's a handful of people. I don't even think it's 5% of the people in this world that are making the noise and writing the narrative of what life is about right now in 2020. But that narrative is just false. It's the emperor's new clothes. It has nothing to do with our lives, and constantly looking at our life and holding it up to what life is supposed to be about right now. If we pick up the paper, it seems so ridiculous. It just seems so out of whack and out of hand, and this does not compute. This is not what I'm going through. This is not what my life is about. And it's all you hear all day. And nobody's helping us with our problems, and nobody, I mean, if people have people in their lives who care about them, that's great, but you hear so many people just lonely and they don't feel like they have support, and we're all just like floating in our own, I guess, little bubbles, and nobody's connecting with the right people. Everybody seems to be surrounded by the wrong people, and everybody just feels lost and despondent, and it's nobody's fault, but you feel like you're not supposed to be that way. But how are you supposed to change it if every day just floats into the next one, and everything we're seeing is a big lie? So this sadness, I really feel like this sadness is, anybody who's paying attention, anybody who's trying to be real or have any integrity or trying to be honest, it's very difficult to not just sit in this sadness and say, when is it going to end? What am I supposed to do? How do I stop it? And there doesn't seem to be an answer for how we're going to stop it. Seems like we have to wait it out, but it's hard to wait it out if you don't know when that end date is. What day is this going to stop? Is it going to stop, on February 28th? Is it going to stop on March 1st? Is it going to stop in July? Is it going to stop 2021? When is this going to end? I hope it stops. I hope that we can have happiness. I hope that this is just a phase. It feels like a time of transition. I hope it does transition into something better for all of us, but I'm not sure, and I just wish that we could find comfort, but it doesn't seem to be out there.